Welcome to Bedtime Bartender. My name is Matthew, and on this channel we learn how to make drinks after the babies go to bed. Tonight we're going to be starting a new series. We're going to make classic cocktails, and how it's going to work is that we're going to make the classic cocktail. There are lots of them, and then we're going to make either an original, a modern classic, or just like a variation of a classic cocktail. Tonight is no exception to those rules, where we're going to start with the Martini. Martinis classically are going to be just gin and vermouth, usually a 3-to-1, and purists will say that's the only way that you can classify it as a martini. For me, there's many too fun ingredients to play around with to limit yourself that way, but we're still going to make the classic cocktail. So we'll get started with some ice in our glass. And then, very simple, 4-to-1 ratio of gin and vermouth. So that is 120 milliliters, yes, or 4 ounces of gin. The classic martini calls for TANQUERAY, but you can use the gin you've got in your house as well. Then we're going to need 1 ounce or 30 ml of dry vermouth. So you're going to need a lot of ice in your stirring glass. You want it to cover the spirit line and be above it. What I mean by that is, this is just covering, this is going to be above. There's one more little piece of ice there. We'll go ahead and throw it in. And then stir. Based on the temperature of your spirits, the temperature of your glass, temperature of your ice, temperature of your house, it's going to be different for every person. The general rule is about 45 seconds. Or, for me, when my thumb on the back of the etching is cold. Your forefingers will be cold first, but to me that's not quite an indicator. Your thumb is a little bit more, I don't know, it's just better. It has less nerve endings? I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor. It doesn't, she says no. She says no, it doesn't. Maybe it's just thicker skinned? There's more surface area. None of it, okay? None of this is correct. I don't know why it works, but I'm telling you, the thumb works. Okay, we're good. Your ice will start to break up, kind of get loosey-goosey. You'll notice I'm not using a julep strainer, and that's because mine doesn't fit on this glass very well. So, I'm not gonna use it. I'm going to take our chilled glass, get rid of the excess, and we're going to pour. I'm going to double strain because I want it nice and clean. And it's heavy, so be careful. With all that ice in there. So you can garnish this a couple of different ways, even for a regular classic martini. You can go with a couple of olives, no brine. You can go with orange or lime or anything like that. Also traditionally is going to be lemon. So we're going to go with lemon. Just a nice big piece. You can definitely do a curl if you want to. You don't have to express, but I'm going to. So I'm just going to clean up my peel a little bit, make it look nice, and then we'll throw it on our glass. There's all sorts of different ways that you can do it. If I had a little bit thicker piece, actually, it would stay on there better. So I think we're actually going to do the old slight curl, which I realize isn't as pretty, but the piece wasn't quite long enough to really bridge the gap there and not fall in. So, classic martini. Gosh, martini glasses. My least favorite of all of my glassware is a standard martini glass. It is so unruly, but I promise I haven't had anything to drink tonight. They're just terribly unruly. Man, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. I can understand why it is a classic, because this is a perfect pairing. It's a lovely drink. It is really, really, really good, and I hope you try it. All right, so moving on, we are going to make an original drink. You know, I couldn't stay away from them. And this time it's going to be based off of, I don't know if you actually, quick story. So Stanley Tucci on Instagram, the actor, makes cocktails sometimes on his Instagram page. Maybe it's on Twitter and stuff too, I'm not sure. But he made something called a tequila-tini. And I thought, that's a great idea. And I tried it, and it was not specifically to my liking. So I wanted to play around with it and see what I could do to make it to my particular taste preferences. And that is exactly what I'm bringing to you tonight. So this I'm gonna call the Tuccitini. We're gonna need 1.5 ounces each of some Reposado tequila, and some ANEJO tequila. That'd be 45 mils a piece. Next, we're gonna grab some dry curacao. I need 1/2 ounce or 15 mil. And last but not least, let's grab some LILLETE. LILLETE Blanc. I need 1/4 ounce. LILLETE. Pretty sure it's LILLETE. Okay, there's something we need to do to prep. You're gonna laugh at me. Or you're gonna be like, what, Matt, that's crazy. I promise you, it's not crazy. I played around with this recipe for off and on about the last 2 months. And I've tried all sorts of variations. And this one, I really think I nailed it. So, here's what you're gonna do. Cut off a piece of your lime. I'm saved that, I did a long round on the peel here. And then I need a piece of lime. I'm gonna put that in my double strainer. Now, let's chill our glass down. And get our ice in our mixing glass. I'm sure now you're thinking, why did he do that? Well, traditionally martinis are made without citrus and without sweetener. So, as we stir this, I'll explain kind of what I'm talking about. It's going to be martinis are a very spirit-forward cocktail. There's all sorts of variations that do have fruit, that do have sweeteners in them, but the more traditional ones are going to be ones that are very just spirit-forward. And I realize that this is tequila and not gin and vermouth, but it's still close enough in family to be considered a martini, a tequila martini. So because of that, I added some sweetness with our dry curacao, also flavor, and our LILLETE. And then of course, the Reposado and ANEJO tequilas bring a lot of that agave sweetness already, smokiness, and absolutely delicious flavor, in my personal opinion. But the one thing that's missing in this drink, according to me anyway, is some of that citrus flavor that you would get from something like a margarita. So what you're going to do is pour very slowly into your double strain over the lime. And that little bit of hint of lime flavor will be there. I promise you, if you do it without this, it will not be the same. Once everything's drained through, make sure you get all that liquid out. It's basically just kind of going through the pores, and it's not leaving any of the actual lime in the drink. You can see, well, it's kind of hard to see from here, but it's quite clear still, like a martini. But we're imparting some of that lime flavor, which I really, really want. And then on top of that, we're gonna do a little twist, or rather expressed lime over the top from our glass. And then I want a nice big bow tie. So again, we're just kind of imparting some of that flavor of the lime with the peel in our drink. So we've already expressed, but peel has a more bitter flavor, and when you leave it in the drink, it will change it. So I'm going to drop that right on into our drink, just like that. And there we have, I'm very proud of, the Tuccitini. Oh my God, that's good. Okay, just try it, make it, tell me I'm crazy or not, and please do try it actually, because I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised at a tequila martini. Man, this thing is good. Okay, so last but not least, we cannot talk about martinis without talking about the classic Bond martini. This one is shaken, not stirred, according to Ian Fleming, and we're gonna need to chill down our glass and grab 3 ounces or 90 ml of gin. Ooh, that one's full. We're gonna need 1 ounce of vodka. $30 ml. Should probably talk about that the classic recipe is going to call for Gordon's gin and KINA LILLETE. Gordon's not available right in my immediate area, or I could not find it anyway. And I love Beefeater, so we're going with that. It does not specify the vodka, and they do not make, as far as I know, KINA LILLETE anymore. Lillet Blanc or Lillet Blanc is the substitution, which you are going to need ½ an ounce or 15 ml. So, martinis, for the most part, and most cocktails that don't have citrus and sugar in them are stirred. Why is this one shaken? It's a good question, and I think maybe for the flair of it, the specificity of it, but also because it does provide some aeration. And we're going to achieve that by a bigger block of ice and some smaller pieces, as per usual. Smaller pieces are going to provide our dilution. The big rock is going to provide our aeration. So if you drink this drink right away, you will tell a little bit of a difference. You're going to notice something. But once it dies down, it's pretty much, it's very not noticeable. I don't know, whatever the other way to say that. But anyway, why shaken versus stirred, I think really it's just the book. 15 seconds or so. Also, it is specified to be very, very cold, which to me says as cold as you can get it, which also means a little bit of dilution probably. Man, every time. There we go. No, not there we go. So this new shaker that I've got has such a good seal, and I love shaking with it. It is, however, just a hair hard to open. So we're gonna double strain. We don't want any of those little ice pieces in there. And then I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it's got aeration. It's got a lot of bubbles going on in here. And we want to drink it right away, which I probably should have gotten my peel piece ready before I did that, but there we are. Just gonna clean it up slightly. Okay. Quick twist. The Bond Martini. Shaken, not stirred. She's laughing at me. It's a bad impression, I know that. I couldn't not say it. This is an excellent martini, an excellent martini. I highly suggest you make one. Whether you shake it or not is totally up to you, but I would definitely suggest making this one. It's very, very, very good. Thanks for joining us tonight as we started a new series where we explore classic cocktails. Tonight we made the Martini and its variations, of course. This is the classic Martini. This is the Tuccitini and the Bond Martini. If you like the video, hit the button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications because we're making lots more videos. And leave a comment down below and let me know which classic cocktail you would like me to make, and I'll make it. Also, if you try any of these, specifically my favorite here, the Tuccitini, let me know what you thought, and I look forward to talking to you guys. So, be good to each other, and we will see you in the next one.